Good evening, all. Right. Let's start the lesson from the place that we have stopped last day. So we were basically discussing about advanced data structures like list, tuples, and dictionaries. So where we have to discuss about now, actually, we have to discuss about the last part of that. So basically, last day we discussed about lists and how to navigate through the lists, right? That we have discussed. And so today I think we have to discuss about tuples, right? Okay, this. Okay, let me move to the note quickly. This is not the one that we have studied last day. And this one. Right. So did I give a small, did I give you small, small kind of homework? No homework, right? Any homework? Did I give you some homework last day? This one? Netuli? Yes or no? Hello? Sit me, can you hear me? Have you done this?
Sir?
Have you done this homework?
Not completed, sir. I tried, but
Not completed. Netuli, what about you? Same, not completed. Okay, so right. Okay, so but this is easy one, right? This is easy one. Anyway, let me quickly discuss that and then move to the next type of data structure. I'm going to open in ideally, and I'm going to quickly do this, right? So I'm not going to explain much on this because this is easy one. So I ask you to declare empty list and file new. And I ask you to declare empty list. Write a program to add 10 inputs to list. So empty list can be defined in two ways. So the first method is, so you can say marks, or let's say list name is my, let's say students marks, student, STUDENT, student marks is the list name and that is empty. So this is one way of doing that. And the second way is you can call list function. You can say list. That is also okay. Student marks is a list. So empty list. So you're going to iterate, so you're going to add 10 marks, 10 inputs. To add 10 inputs, you can use like, let's say, let's define a function def add marks. And I'm going to give the student marks as the parameter to add marks function. And in add mark function, what they are going to do for k in range. Okay, so here also you can give the how many marks that you want to add. Okay, in range n. This is customizable function. This n is the number that you are going to add. Okay, in range n, you are going to insert student marks dot append these the new marks. The new marks can be obtained by giving input. Let's say marks m equal int input, int input, and enter marks. So that m you are going to append to the list, right? That is going to be done n times. N is you have to give the n. and student marks is given, and let's say here in this program n equal 10. So this will be done 10 times. You add in 10 marks. Then iterate through the all items and find the maximum and minimum from the list. Okay, the first time I'm telling, right, you have to find the maximum. Def find maximum from the given list. Okay, so before finding the max, I'm telling that current max is the 0th item of student marks. That is the 0th item, because if you have only one mark, එක mark එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒක තමයි maximum. 0th mark is the maximum. එක mark එකක් තියෙනවා නම් එයා තමයි maximum. The current max is the student marks 0. But if you get something bigger than the current marks, so that means you have to repeat for, let's say, element in student marks. All right. For element in student mark, for each element in the student mark, you are going to compare. What you are going to compare? For if this element is moderate, it's greater than the current maximum. දැනට තියෙන ලොකු එකටත් වැඩි ලොකු එකක් ආවොත්, then the current maximum is that element. Okay. Then finally, after all these, you can return the current max. And for minimum, you can write the same. I'm going to write another function. So you can do without functions, right? I'm just doing it just to show you the usage of functions, but without functions is also, it is okay. So here the current min is student mark 0. If 0 elements, then the element is even less than the current minimum. Element is even less than the current minimum, then the current minimum is that element. And finally, you are returning current minimum. Okay, so with that, you can find the minimum and maximum. Right. Finally, you are going to call the function add marks. You are going to add marks to this student marks. Actually, this need not to be student marks. This can be a same something like, but I have given the same name. Student marks, and I'm going to add 10 times. After adding 10 times, I need to find the maximum. And that is equal to this find maximum. Function will find the maximum and give it to you. You have to give the list, and it will find the maximum of this list and give it back to you. And the minimum also you can find the same way. Minimum is find min the student marks. And finally, you can say print, let's print all marks, print the student marks. Sorry, print the student marks, and also print the maximum. You can say maximum mark is, and that is the maximum. Sorry, that is the maximum here. And minimum mark is the minimum you found from the second function. I have written in functional oriented way, but you can write without functions also, right? Minimum marks. It's okay to write without functions. Okay, let's run this program. I'm going to save max and min. Max and min .py and just run it, and you can see when you run the code, it will ask, first time it will ask to add the marks. So this will be asked 10 times, right? So the first mark on this, another mark, another mark, another mark, another one, another one, another one, another one, another marks. So I think 10, yes. Then print in the list and also print in the maximum mark and also print in the minimum. Okay, quickly copy this down to your book. Please copy this down quickly. This is your homework. So before copying, I would like if you can try. I'll give you time, but so this is your homework. Remember that when you're doing homework in the class time, what will happen? So it will be, the class time will be reduced. So in order to stop that, you can try homework at home. But I know you don't like homework, but if you like homework, you will ask from me. මම දන්නවා like කැමැත්තෙන් කරනවනේ. ඔයාලට ඔක බැරි වුණ හැටි කරගන්න බැරි වුණ හැටි මට මැසේජ් එකක් හරි දාලා අහන්න. But no one asked me means you don't like it. You don't enjoy the subject. So in that case, you have to utilize the time in the class time. Okay, so please write down. Please do this in Python and then write down. Right, first do this in Python. Write the code in Python, save it, run it, and then write down it in your book. This is for the last week question. Do this quickly. So if you don't have Python installed in your machine, so please go to online Python compiler and you can write the code there. So this is the link. I have sent the link. If you don't have Python installed in your computer, just write the code in online Python compiler, and when you run, you will get the results here. It will ask you the marks. Please enter the marks. After entering all 10 marks, it will give you the minimum and maximum. Right? That you can try in the online Python compiler, which I have sent to you. That is if you don't have the installed version. But if you have the installed version, that is the recommendation. You can write the code there, test it. After that, you can write in the book. Okay, as I explained last day, so this add marks is basically it's appending one by one 10 times because you have called 10. 10 is 10. So if you change the n, it will add any number of times. So if n is 20, it will add 20 marks. Likewise, this is continue to append the marks. So that is easy. Then the next one is this find max and find min. Find max and find min both are equal actually. So only thing is same algorithm, right? Let's say you have 10 elements. And this is the first element. Let's say first element, I'm going to take like here. This is one student. If you have one student in a class, so if you ask who's the tallest, and let's draw square here. If I ask who's the tallest, and I'm going to put tallest here, and then the shortest. So try to understand with this example, right? Shortest. You have the tallest and shortest. Right? If there's a one student, right? If there's a one student, you can just point. Tallest is this student, and shortest is also this student, because there's only one. Okay, another one. So let's say this is X. This is student X. Now X is the tallest. X is the tallest, and X is the shortest. Okay, let's assume another student K. Another one K. This is student number 2. Now you can see that student number 2, he is Y. Is Y. Now you can see Y is taller than, so who's the tallest? Current tallest is X. Current shortest is X. You compare Y with the current tallest. Is X and Y. You compare X and Y. Is this Y is taller than the current tallest? Yes or no? You have to answer, right? Tell me the answer. Yes. Is Y taller than the current tallest? Yes. Yes. Then the new tallest is, no doubt about new tallest, that is y. And then you are checking the other one also. The shortest is x. Is y shorter than the current shortest? Is
No.
y shorter than the current shortest? Current shortest is x. No, it's not. So now you are pointing this one. The tallest is y and shortest is x. Okay, another new one came to the class. It's another new one. New student came to the class and he is Z. Now you are comparing Z with the tallest and the shortest. And Z and Y. So Y is tallest. If you compare Z with Y, is Z taller than Y?
No.
Is Z taller than Y? No. Z is not taller than Y. Y is the tallest. So you keep as it is. Then you compare with the shortest. So current shortest is X. If you compare X and Z, is Z shorter than X?
Yes.
Is Z shorter than X? Yes. Then what is the current? So since X is, sorry, Z is shorter than X, now the shortest is Z. The change in that. Now shortest is Z. You are not pointing to this one. Instead of this, you are pointing to this guy. Okay, fourth one came. Right? Likewise, you are repeating this, right? Fourth one came. This is the fourth person in your class. So fourth person came, and that is, let's say, that is AB. That is AB. Right? You compare AB with the tallest. Is AB taller than Y? Is AB taller than Y?
No.
Is AB shorter than Z?
No.
AB shorter than Z? No. So no need to change anything. You continue. The next one. So this is the algorithm that I have used. Can you understand the algorithm now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, current max is the zeroth one. If the element, the new element is greater than the current max, that is the tallest, or that is the biggest. The current max, current min is the zeroth one. If new element is even smaller than the current min, that is the minimum. Finally, after the loop, you are returning the current max and current min. That returning value you capture using the maximum and minimum variables. And finally, you print it. Okay, that is the algorithm. I think it is clear now. Everyone, is anyone who need further explanation? Anyone who need any further explanation about this? Okay, I believe this is enough then, right? I believe this is okay, right? Now, let's move to the next phase of our lesson. That is, so now we have already learned about the list. Okay, good. Now we have to learn about tuples, dictionaries, and sets. So the next subheading, tuples. Next subheading, tuples. Okay, under that, please write tuple is similar to list, but it is immutable. Immutable means read only. Tuple is similar to list, but it is immutable, means read only. Okay, so then if you want to define a tuple, you can define it as, let's say, you are going to define a tuple called marks, or you can define a tuple called days. You can say, you can use the bracket, and inside bracket you can use Sunday, la Monday, anything, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay, this is a tuple. Or you can define the tuple in this way without brackets also. By separating using commas, you can define tuple. This is the second method. The first method is you can define using bracket. The second method is you can define even without using the brackets. Both are correct. Okay, please write down this, and I'm going to show this usage of this using Python now. While write down, please focus on the coding part also. You can write down while writing down. Just focus on the coding. I'm going to save this as tuples example, tuples example.py, and this is my tuple. And please note that if you write the tuple in Word, if you copy and paste it to Python ideally, the commas that you have to change, otherwise it will give an error, right? I'm going to run this. You can see it will give an error because of these commas, right? Invalid character in identify, because you typed that in Word wala type karne ka Python walta copy paste karama, it will give an error. So you have to again use the double quotation and type this. So this is how you type in, because the Word will convert that to words on quotation format, open in quotation and close in quotation. That is the reason for giving an error. So if you type this in Python, it will not convert that to the opening and closing quotations. Therefore, it won't give an error after that. You have to replace all the quotations after copy and paste, right? You can even use single quotation for this. Double quotation is also okay. Single quotation is also okay. So let's run this. And now you can see no errors. It's running without any errors. And you can use the single quotations also. So let's say days 2. Days 2, I'm going to use single quotation instead of double quotation, and that is also correct. You can try this in Python, okay? So if you finish writing, please try this in Python. Single quotation is also okay. Clearly, Varanam, Python, then type karan patanga. Single quotation is also supported, and this is also valid format. And what about angled quotation, which is under tilde mark, let's say days 3. So if you use angle quotation, so it will give an error, right? You can't use angle quotation, because if you use angle quotation, it will generate again error. Invalid syntax because of angle quotation. Single quotation accepted, double quotation accepted, angle quotation not accepted, right? And you can use the brackets. You can use the brackets. So that means you can define this inside the brackets or without the brackets. If you use the bracket, still same, right? No difference. With bracket or without bracket, it will work. So let's run this and you won't get any error. The brackets or without brackets accepted. And if you try to append days.append, you are going to append a new day. Let's say the new day is Sarida or something like that. But you don't have such day. But anyway, we're trying to append something like this. But please note that appending is here not supported by tuples, because it is read only. Once defined, that is it. You can't define empty tuple and later add the elements. So you can try to define empty tuple like this. Days equal, okay, let's say something like this. Let's say days 4. When you run this, you can see that will work. So if I ask what is days for, it will, sorry, not that. So mistake. Let's run this again. If I ask what is days for, it will say that is a tuple. Type of days for is a tuple, but that is empty tuple. If you print the days for, that is empty tuple. Right? You can't add elements to that tuple. The reason is tuple is immutable. It's read only. You can't change that. That is the reason why you can't add elements. But you can't do something like this, like days 5 equal tuple, right? Still, that will support, but that will again generate empty tuple. But you can't append to that, right? When you run that, you can see is empty tuple. Days 5 is empty tuple. So, and if I ask to print the days 5, it will again print the same empty brackets. That is empty. Both are okay, but you won't be able to add elements after that. Okay, please write down the examples and show this. Please write down these examples and show this. And this is how you define empty tuple. This is also empty tuple, but further you can't add elements to this empty tuple. But you can apply the attributes like len, right?